Hello, everyone. Welcome to the OpenONU Go call on June 2nd. This call will be recorded and uploaded on YouTube, so please be mindful of what you share and speak. You should be seeing my screen now. Just a minute. Are you sharing the document that I'm?
Yes, here we can see it.
Okay, let's begin. The first item, image update. So where are we on this one? The last I heard, there were some issues, fetching the device list. Tio or Chip, any update on this one?
Yeah, I don't have anything specific on image update. I know there was some discussion on Slack with respect to encoding the GET request or response.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the conclusion there was that we will fetch, we'll send multiple GET requests to fetch the image list as needed.
Yeah.
I think the patch that is mentioned here is already merged, and I think the only other thing was to list the images. Tio, do you have any update on this? Are you still blocked, or is this completed? I'm not sure we have Tio. Okay, I'll get back to this later once he's back. Andrea did not want this one to be discussed. This is left for later, so I'll just hop on to the next topic. Disable device, then delete issue. So I talked to Andrea yesterday, and he said he doesn't have any update on this one. Still needs to be investigated. So that's it. There's no more update on this, but he has mentioned that this is a blocker for the release. So this needs to be closed before the end of this release. The next item is PM. And
Girish, I have some updates regarding software update.
Oh, please go ahead.
I did some tests with the new Volt control interface for the software upgrade, but in doing that I encountered some issues which I documented in bug reports related to our OpenONU Go APIC, and afterwards I had some tests with the old interface, with the old Volt control interface, to find out why the robot test suite of Hardik fails constantly. And I already found something. It was only initialization missing, and I delivered a patch. But now I'm in the process of starting the test case and see if it heals this issue. It's also related to the one you have here in the document. It's this Volta.
This one?
The Volta 4106 above the first one. No, higher.
The 4108. This one?
Yeah, 06. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if it completely fixes this issue, but I come further now. It's getting further now, but I'm on this issue currently. That's what Michael analyzed, that there was a problem with messages, but it was not the only problem. There are some other things to fix.
So this is the patch that you mentioned, right?
Yeah. This is simply an initialization missing. And
did you say that that there are more issues still, or this?
I don't know. I just delivered the patch, and I'm in the process of executing the test case.
Okay.
I was just starting Volta.
All right. Thanks. Just keep us updated, on Slack or mail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we are past disable device delete issue. This is no progress on that one. And the next one is PM. What was this? Yeah, on 3785, I did see Andrea send out a mail to Paul and Bjorn. We haven't heard back from them yet, so I'm not sure we'll be able to complete this in the time frame of 2.8, given that the code freeze is in like another couple of weeks. Yeah, we'll just wait on this one and probably decide in the next couple of days if we are going to do this or not in the 2.8 release. The get current data, I did see a patch from Chip and I merged this one. So thanks, Chip, for submitting the patch.
Yeah, and we probably won't need it since we're hoping that the extended Ethernet performance data will be supported by everyone, and it supports a GET request and a continuous counters.
Okay, yeah.
So, and if they have to fall back to more legacy ones, then this will come in handy.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jim. So, Himani, do you have any update on the current task that you're working to fetch the extended PM counters?
Yes, Girish. Actually, I have started the implementation in the OpenONU adapter. I was facing some issues. I had discussed with Chip so that I can look at the Python adapter code once. I looked at the code and I'm trying to resolve the issue since this OMCI stuff is something new for me. So it's taking some time. But I'm working on the patch.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming. I can understand, but yeah, you have made good progress. So that much I can say.
Yeah.
Thanks. Do also ping me in case you need any help with the infrastructure or anything else for that matter.
Okay, because I saw some comments over there regarding we need to run some tests on the current ONUs. So I discussed with Andrea yesterday regarding that. So he told me that once the code is ready, then we can have someone to test the code.
Sure, sounds good.
Okay.
Testing Torsten, NIG test. So do you have any update on this one?
No.
Okay.
For this one, I don't have any update. Pipelines of the PM data tests are running stable and are green.
Okay.
And else I had some issues with my machine,
Okay.
which used 2 days, and now I am working on a new script, which is a substitute for the deprecated Volta script.
Okay.
And it was not planned, and so I do it on the side of all the other things, but the effort on the others, but the progress is very, very slow or low, therefore.
No worries.
Girish, what actually was the reason to deprecate the Volta script? Now every developer has to try to compose its own environment to bring up Volta and so on. Or is there any support plan from ONF to ease this process?
Did you mean the kind Volta when you said Volta script?
Yeah. So the kind Volta, where you call this Volta up, for example. There are a lot of stuff is automated, and you will be able to simply bring up the Volta environment. And now you have to deal with the Helm charts, right?
Yes. Yeah, probably Theo is the right person to answer. Theo, you're there now?
Yeah, so, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So the reason to deprecate kind Volta is that there was a lot of complexity that was hidden in that script to support multiple versions of Volta and a ton of different configuration. And all of that complexity can easily be managed in the help chart. And everything that KineVolta was doing is doable via config flags in the Helm chart. And there are example files in the Helm chart repo with the configuration for the 3 different workflows. So the installation of Volta is really 3 Helm commands. But if you're having any issue with that, please reach out to me. We can set up a meeting and address every issue you're finding. Also, as a note, next week I'll be in Europe, so it will be we'll have much more overlap time during the day. So really, if you have any issue, don't hesitate to reach out.
Mm-hmm. Currently, Torsten is dealing with this issue. I don't know, Torsten, if you want already to say something or to come back to Matteo later on.
I can come back later on to Matteo, but what I doing now is to strip up the Volta script, the very complex Volta script, and make let it call Volta Lite or something. This where I use not Kubernetes but Minikube and it will be not so complex like the old one, but I made it especially for my tests and for the OpenONU Go adapter tests for Holger and Michael, because they have another script which wrapped around the Volta upscript. And so I will do new scripts so near as far as possible as the old one with the parameters we use. It's not so complex, but I will use a lot of the things there are.
But regarding the Helm charts usage, you are clear now, yeah? You are ready to know what to do.
Actually, I've got some issues with the Kubernetes and it's not running still now as I expected, but I'm in good progress and the Helm charts are clear for me so far. But if I have a special or a dedicated question, I will contact Andrea or Matteo.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Yep, anything, reach out, no problem.
Thanks, Theo. Theo, I had another question from earlier. So, are you still blocked on fetching the device list from the BBSM? I saw a discussion on the OpenONU Go adapter.
In which sense I'm blocked to get? Are you talking about the multi-uni?
No, not the multi-uni. You had, I think you mentioned on the OpenONU Go channel that when a GET request was issued for the software image ME, the response had some mask set for the failed attributes.
So yeah, that was in the unit test. I haven't had time to look at it since last week though. So
okay.
I'll get back to it today or tomorrow probably, and if I'm still blocked, I'll ping on the channel.
Sure. Thanks. Okay. Now to the next topic, traffic descriptor ME. Osk is working on this one. I did see a patch. I'm sorry, I have not reviewed this one, but Osk, do you want to provide any updates on this one?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, that's great. Holger reviewed my patch and gave some comments my patch. I should update my patch as soon as possible. I don't have any other progress about this.
Did you mention about? No, I think you're mentioning about the multicast ME patch.
Yeah, Holger gave me some comments
Oh yeah,
on
I see that. Got it.
descriptor patches.
Sure. Thanks. I'll have a look at it today as well and provide any comments I have. Thanks, Holger. Thanks Osk, for the update. Multi-uni support. So where are we on this one? I think there are multiple related correct patches for this one. Let me see.
Yes, for this one, Girish, it's ready to review.
Okay.
It passed the test and also hardware test.
Okay.
Actually, I changed the implementation a little.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it is now more straightforward and clean. So if you can, anyone review it?
Let me assign this
I'll
to myself.
yeah.
I'll have a look. Encourage others to have a look as well. On the 16 Uniport, I don't think we are going to address this in the time frame of 2.8. But do we have a Jira for this one so that in the future releases we can take a look at this one?
No update for this one. I think we will do it after 2.8.
Yeah. Do you mind creating a Jira for this one? I'm not sure we have one already.
Yeah, sure. I can.
Thanks, Mahir.
Mahir,
Go ahead.
I had a question, I think for Mahir, that if you want to try, I do have an image for BBSIM that is not 100% complete yet, but I tested it and it's working with 4 units. So if you want to try it, I can point you to the patch or to the image.
Okay, you can send me an image. I actually, for the next few days, I have something to do, another plans, but I can test it as soon as possible. I mean, if I have time. Okay.
Yeah, no rush. It was more if it can help you, I can provide the image. So.
Okay. Thank you. You, as I said, you provide image to us. Perhaps me or Özge, we can use it. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. So the next one is, avoid recreating multi-task gem. Yeah, I got confused earlier with this issue. So there is an open comment on this one, which needs addressal. Also, is there an update on this one?
Yeah, I saw your comments, and you're right. I should check OMCI response when I send get request. So I I make changes, but I didn't test it yet.
Okay.
So I will send when I test my patch again.
Got it. Thanks, Oscar. The next one is a sporadic issue in multi-OLT environment, rarely seen. I talked to Andrew on this one. He said there is no update on this one yet. He was inclined to close this, but Mikhail, wanted to investigate more on this one. So this will stay open for now. We don't really have a Jira for this yet. I'm not sure if anyone here had a chance to look at this problem. Any updates from anyone on this?
No.
Okay. Let me tag myself to create a Jira for this one. And the next couple of items are not really meant for today's discussion. That's post to release, so I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I mean, that's all I had to discuss. Any comments from anyone in this group? Anything that we missed?
I make a suggestion for a topic.
Sure.
Because I put it into the OpenONU Slack, but David already answered. Yesterday I wanted to log into the container and to check the local file system because during software upgrade the nodes are stored there, and I wanted to check if they arrived there. And I realized that it is not longer possible because we now the containers are non-distro builds, so there's no user defined and no commands available anymore. But my proposal was if it wouldn't be useful to have at least a small set of busybox-like commands in the container, and also some root access with a variable password, which is based on some local environment parameters. But David made some objection already that we don't want it anymore. And I want to hear your idea or your what do you think about it? Wouldn't it be useful to have some kind of small Linux access within the container, even in the field, to trace errors or something like this? Or was it discussed already in the ONF that we don't have any access anymore to the containers?
Honestly, I was not really part of this decision, and I'm no security expert, so that would certainly help me, but I would love to hear thoughts from anyone else who
But for example, if you also would make this for the etcd, then you could not access anymore. It would also not be very helpful.
Right. I mean, we don't really maintain the etcd container. I mean, that is downloaded from the Bitnami etcd charts, and that has some support, and that's how we are able to upload templates and do all such stuff. So that's
actually when you talk about security, then the etcd is more vulnerable because there are the interesting data where you can find the interesting data, all the customer data and so on, and not in the containers of the Volta. So therefore I don't understand this approach to only block the adapters and not for example the database, you can still access the database from outside.
So just one thing, a couple of things actually. I've not been following this security thing too close, but if you need to do a build for development that is based on Ubuntu or whatever base container you need to do for development, that's totally fine. I guess you can just build your local image and use that one during development, and that's fine. But there was a requirement from the operator to restrict the containers to be more secure. And that has been done for the Volta containers because those are the ones we manage. We don't have any control on what the etcd community does. And we are not prescribing the operators to use that version of etcd deployed on top of Kubernetes. If they want to, if they have an etcd running somewhere, that's totally fine for Volta. That's outside of our stack. That's not something we are managing.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that we don't distribute a full set of containers to the operators.
We don't distribute it.
Go ahead, please.
We only distribute the Volta container to the operators. The etcd containers are not maintained by us.
But actually, we also some kind of system integrator, right? For example, if the operator uses a different etcd container which does not interwork was not interworking tested with the Volta containers, and it could be could cause some trouble, right?
Theoretically, if the etcd version is the same, it should be fine. And I know some people have been using Volta with an etcd cluster installed on physical servers that was not even in a container. So as long as we have an etcd with a good set of performance, from the Volta perspective, it's fine.
Okay, but the operators. I think the operators are informed about it, right? That's when they use.
Well, that's probably more a question for the system integrators that are directly interacting with the operators. We don't really do deployments directly at the operator side. We don't manage their cluster.
Yeah.
So we basically have been asked to secure the Volta containers, and we have to do it. I'm not saying I necessarily support it, but
there are some issues because some of our test cases are basing on the Linux access, for example, to the etcd. Where data are queried and compared to the data which are expected. All these test cases would not run any longer if we also close the etcd, you know.
Yeah, we are absolutely not going to do that for our test infrastructure.
Yeah, I see.
Because we don't have any secure data to keep safe in there. Not connected to anywhere, so we're not going to change that in our infrastructure.
Yeah, one of the things I've done for the containers I work with is we've got our production container, but with that we can use that as a base image, and as that we built a REST server on top of for quality assurance, and it has more functionality, but doesn't, so it can go in and read specific hardware values and do various operations with REST, trigger errors, but it uses the underlying code. And then I also build off of that a debug version. So that might be something if it's helpful, for testing and deployment, is to take the base image and find a way just to maybe put something simple that has like a REST server on top of it, and that gives you some capabilities to reach in and touch it, but don't touch any of the underlying functional code, if that makes any sense. So
Yeah, I think we could do that in the make file, parameterizing the base image, and that should be fine as long as the default one remains the secure one.
yeah,
And then we can just adapt.
yeah, and that's actually what I do is I have, I use the same Docker file as one big Docker file. I say just for production, just go this far. So it works out pretty nice. So
Thanks everyone. This was a good discussion. So the conclusion here is that the images, the Volta stack images, the adapters, the rewrite for OF agent, all these images will still have the shell commands disabled, but if the system integrators want, they could build custom image for their testing or deployment. That's what I hear, right? That's the conclusion.
I also built a developer container to circumvent this issue, and I was able to access again with the same code. Yeah, that's right. But actually, as I
I will
said,
say that. I will say that everyone can change the container in every way he wants, just as soon as the ones that we publish will remain the secure one.
Yeah, I see. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thanks. Anything else? Okay, then. This was a bit shorter call. Have a good rest of the day or evening. Talk to you on Slack or mail. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.